And good afternoon, you're here at Canada watching TGP1 Season 33, Round 7 and 8 at Canada for the first race, and then Britain in the second race. And as we can see, I've actually started the stream a bit early. Usually we do it 5 minutes to go, but you know, it started out wet and it's actually got dry in qualifying, hence why the times are still quite slow at the moment. As we can see, half the field have pretty much set laps at present. However, as we see, Phil Bargewell then going fastest on those soft tyres. But yeah, started out wet, it's got dry. There's probably not a lot of grip out there still at present. So we'll look forward to seeing who's going to get pole in tonight's races. And before we do start, I would like to just quickly go through the championship standings. So here we can see Corey at the moment on P1 on 80 points, P2 78 points, Matt third 71 points, Machine Fishy fourth on 61, Speed Knight in there obviously on 61 in fifth, J Luke 48, who has obviously as we see there, Corey stays P10 on that lap there. With that, we're actually going to go with Panos off board as he's just starting a lap. But yeah, on the right hand side on the screen, as you can see, the standings are all there for yourself, and also as well the construction. That is prior to this race, so before tonight's racing. That's obviously what the standings look like, of course. So obviously we're going to now focus on the driving and the racing, as Jack Craig has just set the fastest lap at 9.6 at present. He has actually done 2 laps on his lap time, on his tyre, should I say, with regards to that. So he's probably, you know, he's going to be put a lot earlier than most if he obviously doesn't improve on that time on those tyres. Ooh, Panos there getting quite wide, getting on the curb. Need to be careful of that. It's slightly off camber, very easy to pull yourself in there, and he has actually set the fastest middle sector. As you saw on the right hand side, it was purple. Whether or not it is actually is another story. We know how Codemasters games obviously are. And what I'm actually going to do is we're going to have a look at the best tyres. So at the moment, only RoboJeep and Adam have obviously set it on the medium tyres. Everyone else is on the softs there, and Corey has gone quick on an 8.6 as Panos goes P5 there on a 10.1 on the softs. Still quite a ways off obviously the pole time at present, but at the moment, you know, there's quite a lot of people in the pits there. That's fine there. So who's in? So Matt's in the pit still. John is in the pits. Obviously Matt doing his usual there, as we can see. Obviously improvements there. I believe Dan the Man just went up to P2 in the Haas. Obviously Rich Energy Haas there, as Ginger Andy actually goes P3 there. Obviously on his time on the softs, a 9.5. He's still 9/10 off pole position, but you can't really complain at that, to be fair. P3, you know, I think he expects to be towards the back, maybe just fighting for the points. But yeah, we'll see there on that, see where he finishes qualifying. I think he may be outside the top 10, but you know, here's hoping, here's dreaming that he does stay in the top 10, obviously for his results. I don't know if he's done any sweat. I don't think he has. I think he's coming into this one completely rusty with that. As we see, RoboJeep is on the medium. I do believe Khalifa is finishing his lap. We'll actually go on board, see how he takes his final chicane, 100-meter board, and actually goes into the pits there. So he has decided, forget that. We'll actually go back on board with RoboJeep, then see how he takes his final chicane on the mediums. Very cautious on there. Again, we do run strict corner cutting in TGP series, so you need to be very careful there. He actually stays to the left, not sure why. He does improve to P5 on a 9.7 on the mediums there. I think he'll be very satisfied with that. Everyone ahead of him is on the soft tyres, and he's, you know, is a second and a half off as J Luke there sets his lap time, and I believe Risky Racer then is about to start his lap time at 10.9 at the moment, and finishing it, he goes pole position there for the time being, an 8.6, very close between the top two of Risky Racer and Corey, McLaren and obviously the Alfa Romeo. So yeah, it's an interesting one there. Actually, I think he's I don't know if he's actually trying to go for another lap. It looks like he's still pushing, but he does have a Haas, I think, behind him. But let's just take a look. Everyone is well, let's actually go with John, as I think John is on an out lap, it says. Whether that is the case or not, he has done 1 lap on those tyres, so I'm not sure which one he is. I don't think he's pushing at all, so I think it is an out lap. Obviously 100% ERS there, so yeah, he must be starting his lap in just a moment. Obviously there. So 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the session. We've got Risky Racer at the moment on pole position. Corey in P2, Dan the Man P3. I think he'd be very happy with that. J Luke P4, Ginger Andy 96 in P5. I think he'd be very happy if he stays anywhere near that position. Jack Pearson, I will point out, in P19, not allowed to leave the pits, so he will not be doing a qualifying lap, so he will start last. Obviously, Kyle there, as you can see, actually binned it on the exit of turn 2, hence why he's out of this session already. And then here we go, John is then just about to start his lap, getting very close to that wall, really pushing on his outlap, obviously to get that slingshot on straight into turn 1. Very difficult, very easy to overrun there. We've got a Red Bull coming out of the pits. Obviously, I think John is getting quite annoyed with Aiden there. However, Aiden didn't do anything wrong there. He was coming out of the pits. Nothing Aiden did there was his fault. And he's actually clipped the barrier there. John has no damage, but that's not too bad. I think it may have cost him no purple first sector, so he's really pushing, but not quite on the pace that I think he'd be hoping. And then here we go, this next corner, quite difficult. It's quite blind. You need to really trust your car, and quite close there. Nothing to worry about for Jonathan. Is he going to be up on his time going into this final sector? It doesn't actually say whether he's up or not on my screen at the top right. So good game code is there, good game. Obviously, but yeah, as Jack Craig has left the session, probably disconnected there with that. But Jack Craig is currently P6, so hopefully for him, he can rejoin there. And John is getting very frustrated, I can hear on the team radio, with these cars starting laps. I think they all got out of the way anyway, but John is really not happy with them at all for no reason there. We're actually going to go then, just in a moment, actually goes P4, John does, so 5 tenths off. We're going to go on, obviously, with Phil then, cross the line, and Phil goes only P6 there, not too bad. And obviously Machine Fisher then around this final corner, hasn't invalidated it, keeps away from the wall of champions there, and across the line, and he goes, Jack Ray joins there, and he goes P1 on an 8.3, so that's obviously not bad for himself there. And then Panos coming through this final chicane, keeps it clean, keeps it away from the wall, actually keeps it away from the wall, he keeps it very close to the wall there, and Panos then goes into P5, so the times are changing constantly at the moment. Obviously, reason being the track is getting better, it's evolving, it's going from obviously wet to dry to dry to dry to dry, as Ginger Andy has actually invalidated his lap, as we can see on the right hand side there, as he comes onto his lap, obviously with that. So we've got 4 seconds of qualifying. Obviously only a couple people will be doing their lap, as RoboJeep has retired there. We're actually going to go on board with the previous obviously championship leader Khalifa, P14. He's going to cross the line, and he goes only into P4 with that. Dan the Man then also across the line, currently in P5, goes P2, so he'll be up at that 8.6. So Williams crossing the line as well there, and he does not improve, he stays P8 as Matt Tibos has retired. So Matt Tibos is going to be in 17th. Now Matt Tibos did, as you can see on the right hand side, crash at the Wall of Champions. I don't know what Matt Tibos is doing this season. He keeps leaving it way too late in the qualifying, and obviously I'm not sure. There we go, as Aiden actually goes through Matt Tibos's ghosted car, and Aiden is P14 at the moment. He needs to improve. He goes P6 and is on the soft tyres, so that's perfectly fine there. And I think Panos is one of the last people to as he goes in the pits there. Obviously, and then Corey is invalidated his lap anyway, so he is done. And it's Martin then, and Martin obviously out the final corner across the line. Will he improve? He only goes to P13. Speed 9 also coming around the final chicane then. Obviously quite off-putting there, I think, for the drivers with the cars in the way. Knighton 60 for the moment. He goes P6 and then Speed Knighton. And that is everything. That is qualifying done and dusted for the Canadian Grand Prix. And as we can see, Machine Fishy showing his pace at the moment, 2 to 3 tenths quicker than the P2 guy, which is actually Dan the Man. Obviously, very, very good for himself there. I think he'd be very happy that Risky Racer P3. He's not really been up there this season, so I think Risky will be very happy. Corey may be a bit disappointed, obviously, to be where he is. However, all of the all the title contenders, should I say, are further down the grid. Matt Tibos, yet again, similar to I think it was Russia, leaving his qualifying very late, getting a corner call, bottling it. And he's starting at the back. He's going to probably start on the opposite strategy. I think that is the best way. However, this circuit very easy to crash, and that may very well bring out the safety car again. Coders have tweaked it this obviously this past patch, so it is very very much well, easily to come out. So I think there's a high chance that we'll get some sort of safety car today. But there you go. There is the grid. Obviously, the top 10 there. J. Luke starting in 10th. Obviously, with that. And Matt Tibos there, P70, no time set. So I think he'll be very disappointed there all the way down there for yourself. I am actually hearing as well from Aidan Griffins that his car at that finish came being destroyed was very off-putting. I think, you know, everyone would be in the same boat there. Obviously, having a car in the middle, you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know where it's not. Obviously, it could very well be very off-putting there. And here we go. The race, it is dry. It's very cloudy, but it is going to stay dry for the entire race, I am hearing. So that's a good thing. I think Canada doesn't really do very well when it's wet. With the type of circuit and type of corners that lead on to straight. So best thing here is it's dry, and it is. And we're going to see then. We are going to see who is going to win this Canadian race. And I think it's going to be an interesting race, a very interesting race. Matt Tibos is going to charge from the back of the field. Yeah, you know, commentators curse last race at Japan. You know, it's quite difficult, really. I'm actually hearing there's a Haas dancing. I don't know whether there is Haas dancing. I don't realise cars do dance, but here we go then. Everyone readying up. 3 lights there, 4 lights, 5 lights. Is Dan the Man going to get a good start? He's on the right-hand side. There we go, and away we go. We're actually going to get everything up as we need to there. So, Machine Fisher getting a good start. McLaren there and an Alfa Romeo side by side. Obviously with that bit of contact for the Alfa Romeo and the Aidan Griffins there. So a bit contact there, but nothing too major. A few cars jostling for position here, as we can see. Corey already up into P3, the championship leader currently, and Dan the Man and Machine Fishy obviously there. I think was having a bit of a battle. I think that might have been the obviously side thing there. And I'm actually hearing Johners has got damage, and I think Jack Craig is having a bit of an issue at the moment with disconnecting there. But Machine Fishy, obviously 5 tenths up, obviously on P2. Dan the Man, obviously Corey there, not far behind Dan the Man. I think he'll want to try and get past him as soon as physically possible. Dan the Man, not really known for his pace. He's a 4-time champion, so he is fast. However, you know, I think it's going to be an interesting one to see whether he fights Corey a lot or not. I think he will. It is a net P2. I don't think Dan the Man cares for other people's championships and into the final chicane. Everyone needs to be very careful of this. Very easy to corner cut at Canada, especially that final chicane, and someone is in the pits at the moment, and that is Johners. Obviously, Jean 996 there in the pits. Did get damage on the first lap, but this top 3 is very close at the moment. No one is obviously Phil there. Not happy already with the track limits there. However, and there we go. And actually, Corey right behind Dan, as Dan actually gets a 3-second penalty there. So Corey will want to get straight past him as soon as possible. However, Risky Racer and them both McLaren, Risky Racer and Knighton, right behind this battle for P2. So it's not far at all. And actually, Matt Tibos so far on towards the end of lap 2. Is made up a couple of positions. 15th, he started 17th, so he's still quite far behind. And we're actually going to take a look then just to see what people's tyres on. And actually, Matt Tibos has gone on the soft tyres at the moment. It's actually the worst camera angle ever there to watch that. And actually, there we go, better camera angle there. I'll see Corey up the inside. Dan held it round the outside, and Dan the Man does have that position back. And this is allowing Machine Fishy to get that gap. It's now a 1-second gap, so he's already out of DRS. And here comes the McLaren. Is it going to go up the inside of Corey? He is, and I think Corey has actually... Did he drop? Yep, Corey has pitted there, and that's allowed a Risky Racer in to P3 at the moment. So that's obviously good for Corey. I think he's just getting out of the way. He knows he's getting held up, obviously with that there. And Aidan then on at Panos, right behind. Obviously, Aidan needs to keep it clean. He's not had the greatest start to his season that he wants. He's got pace, but at the moment he is really struggling as Jack Craig has rejoined there. And Khalifa, obviously, I think he is P2, P3. I think he's P2 in the championship at the moment. Obviously, currently in P7. He needs to start getting good results again. He has really struggled these past few races, which has dropped him from a good margin in the championship in P1 to P2. So he's not very good there. Obviously with that then, and here we go. is Panos going to defend? And I think Aiden probably is running a bit too much downforce on his setup there. Probably trying to get the qualifying, get a good position in qualifying, but it is costing him in the race as Jack Rigg has left again, sadly. And obviously there's not really any big battles going on. It is a bit of a train gone at the moment, and I am hearing Jack Pearson is going to get Martin at the moment, and there we go, DRS assisted round the outside, nothing Martin can do there. And actually Ginger Andy is in 11th at the moment, so well, 1 point away, well, 1 position should I say, away from the points. Not really where I think he thought he was going to be. And here comes the Ferrari of Matt Tibos there. Matt Tibos up the inside of Martin. Matt Tibos runs it a bit wide, but he does have the inside for turn 2. So that's obviously perfect for Matt Tibos. They're up to 13th position, obviously from P17 there. And I am hearing Aidon. Is a bit of lag there actually. Obviously Aiden Griffins is inside Panos at the moment, so that's he needs to be careful of that. We saw it previous races. It can cause incidents, so not really what is needed there. But this is a good little battle at the moment. And here we go then. Aiden Griffins up the inside. As we can see, of Panos. Will Panos go up the inside at the hip? And I think he will. And yep, Panos is going up the inside. Aiden leaves him a good amount of room there. That's good, obviously, and good room on the exit. And Aiden goes back round the outside of Panos there. So that is fantastic driving by them. Nice and clean. Aiden does have DRS. So has Panos. And we're actually going to go with P2 and P3 fighting there. Will he go around the outside? He's thinking about it. Oh, what a move by Risky there. However, Dan the man now is going to go back up the inside, obviously, of turn 1, and actually very well from Risky there. Absolutely fantastic move. I cannot fault that. He does usually take a few risky moves which can cause incidents at times. However, very good move from there around the outside of the chicane. It gave Dan a bit of a squeeze really, but perfectly fine, perfectly clean, nothing wrong with that. And here we go then, Khalifa obviously on Panos, if I can find him. Actually, I think that's more lag than anything. Obviously, with those two, Panos is lagging up the road. And actually, we're going to go with Paul and Jack. Actually, they are having a bit of a battle there, but it seems to have died down. But yeah, here we go then, back on the battle for P2, coming up to the DRS zone. Will Dan try and line him up? I think he will. Trying to line him up there for the DRS straight. Again, he needs to be careful. Dan the man. Obviously, he doesn't want any damage, running a very well fight for P2. And here we go then, DRS, very powerful round here, I must point out. Risky does go defensive. I think Dan the man does decide to go on the racing line. Ooh, very close there, Risky. As Risky does try and sort of squeeze Dan quite a bit there. And Knighton has pitted. Same with Aiden Griffins and Khalifa. They're all in the pits, obviously there. So that's fine there. And ooh, Risky Racer nearly, I think, going into the back of Dan the man there, as Matt Tibos has now set the fast lap on 11.3. And actually, I'm going to take a look actually what the laps are like on this the sheet. So Machine Fish is only 3/10 slower than Matt Tibos. However, again, oh actually, I'm talking rubbish there. Corey has now set the fastest lap. I think straight after Matt. And here we go then. So it's all settling down now. I'd say all settling down. Obviously for this, but we'll have to take a look. And Matt Tibos there, a second behind Andy. Andy's only 6/10 behind Kyle. I think Andy may probably be running quite low downforce just to try and get that slipstream and that DRS. And actually, Matt Tibos is off. Matt Tibos is off. I didn't see what happened there. I'm not too sure what's happening. He's actually got wing damage, so Matt Tibos has actually lost it. The rear end out of that hairpin, and first and third then have actually pitted. Obviously, Panos has pitted as well. Kyle has pitted, so second, third, fourth, and fifth have all pitted. And obviously, Ginger Andy then into P2, and he did get DRS, so that's nice for Andy there. Obviously, he's now got no pressure from behind with Matt Tibos, as actually Matt Tibos has also pitted there. So this is going to be really helping the likes of Corey and Khalifa, extend obviously that championship lead. And actually, Corey has jumped Machine Fishy in those pit stops. So I mean, you assume Machine Fishy would have got held up there with that, but then 6th and 7th are having a bit of a ding dong as well. Machine Fishy and Speed 9. Obviously, Machine Fishy needs to be careful at the moment. He's he's 4th in the standings at the moment on 61 points. So he's 19 points behind the championship lead at the moment. He's not far off. So I think Machine Fishy needs to play the long game. He needs to get those points. But then Speed 9 as well. Speed 9 at the moment is P5 also on 61 points. So this is a fight for position in the standings. Obviously with that then, and I do believe Khalifa's also about to pass. I think that there's quite a lot of battles. It's hard to keep track. We're actually going to go with Machine Fishy, obviously, and Knight, and actually see if there's going to have any DRS there. Obviously, I think they're too far behind. Obviously, Speed 9 is. Obviously, that's fine there. Dan the Man is in the pits then. And we're actually going to go as there we go then. Panos up the inside of J. Luke. Oh, J. Luke cut in the corner there just to keep ahead. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. The worst camera angles ever. Khalifa then up the inside of Panos as well. Will he try up the inside of the Williams? He thinks about it. He needs to be very careful there, but he keeps it clean. And the second Williams of Kyle right behind Panos as well. I think it's getting quite tasty at the moment. And Aiden at the moment, I do believe, is in a net P4, so that's obviously not bad for himself. And obviously Corey then 3/10, I believe. There we go. Obviously behind Robo Jeep, and again, Corey's doing what he needs to, keeping it clean, not taking too many obviously sort of battles, as it were. So that's obviously important for himself, and he actually thinks about it. He's going up the inside. That is a dangerous move, but he keeps it clean. Obviously Robo Jeep knew he was coming. Very dangerous from Corey. He's risking those obviously positions there. Obviously risky on Dan the Man as well. P8 and P9. I think this is going to be a very easy move by a risky racer, to be honest with yourself. The DRS is very powerful, as mentioned, and with his battle behind as well. And there we go. Obviously a battle with that as well. Obviously Paul and John, as I believe. John is going defensive there. Paul's got the DRS in his Ferrari, if I can speak. And obviously Paul, again, nice and easy with that DRS as a risky racer sets the fast lap on a 10.9. Nice and easy there with that. And second and third then. 4/10. I think Corey got a bit out of shape there as well. Actually, Matt Tibos has got a penalty as he sets the fastest lap. So obviously not really what he wants at the moment, being in 18th. So not the race he really wants, to be honest with yourself. But again, as I cursed it last week, anything can happen. So we're coming back to the DRS straight for the battle for third and second there. Martin, I don't think, will fight him too much. He knows he's not really in this battle. I think Corey just needs to bide his time, and that he does. And actually Martin runs it a bit wide anyway, so that's not going to help himself. There's a bit of contact there, a bit of wheel banging, but nothing too serious, as Corey there with the DRS has perfectly fine. And Machine Fishy then also got DRS on Robojeep, but Robojeep also has DRS on the two in front, as Martin has peeled into the pits there, as there we go then. Obviously Robo Jeep going defensive, but he does have DRS. Both of them have DRS. However, Machine Fishy up the inside, nice as you like. Obviously Robo Jeep has not really anything to gain by battling these guys, and he's actually lost another place to Speed 9. But Corey now is pretty much waiting for this win. He needs to be careful though. Machine Fishy is only 1.1 seconds behind, and I don't think Machine Fishy will sort of do it lying down at all. So he needs to be careful. There's the Haas. There we go then. So I would like to quickly point out though, Ginger Andy is leading still. He stayed on these tyres. Ginger Andy and Robojeep, the only two in the field to pit at the moment. So I think Ginger Andy's really longing out. I think Ginger Andy's probably hoping as well that there is some sort of safety car, because I think he's clearly going to be hemorrhaging a lot of time now. I think, to be fair, Andy probably is best to just pit this lap. I don't think it's going to do anything well for him. He's going to keep losing time and time and time, to be honest with yourself. And is he? And yes, there we go. Andy is in the pits, 10th and 11th of my hearing. Obviously, there we go then. DRS for Panos. Obviously, Jack Craig's AI car getting out of the way there, and Panos straight up with the DRS. Yet again, nice as you like. As the McLaren obviously is in P3, only 4/10. There's a Machine Fishy there, not what he wants at all, to say he's got Speed 9 right behind him, and he's 6 steps behind there. Obviously, there we go. And actually, I think J. Luke and Panos getting very close there. Obviously, the two Williams and the Racing Point within 5/10 of each other. Obviously, some good camera angles here. obviously, but we need to wait and see. You know, there's still, what, 7 laps remaining of this race. Plenty can happen. There could be a safety car potentially. I think at this point, though, I think all the mistakes are out. People are racing wheel to wheel, though, very hard, as we can actually see now. Kyle in the background, obviously behind his teammate Jay Luke, is actually now putting the pressure on. You know, is this going to be a fight for the teammates? Is there any team orders in play? We don't know. I think Panos is holding his own there, which is was very, very good in my opinion. Actually, Ginger Andy then, now that he's pitted, is right behind Paul McGuinness. I think Paul has pitted, as actually runs wide there, Paul. I think nice and easy there for Andy, but Paul does get the better exit. Andy will get DRS, I believe, and I think that will be a done deal. And actually, Andy gets the worst run out of that hairpin, as Paul then does go defensive. Obviously, Andy has to move on to the racing line. I don't think he's going to quite do it. He's thinking about around the outside there, and very good move from Andy. However, he does get a penalty there with that one. Actually, second and third then, 2 tenths behind, obviously with there, but Andy making a good defensive move and obviously getting ahead of Paul still. However, he did end up quitting that corner, so obviously that's cost him more than he wanted to. But you know, fair play to Andy. He's giving these obviously battles a go, and actually Matt Tibos then has obviously got ahead as well of Paul. So I think Paul did probably let him through, knowing that Matt is on a far faster pace than they are. But will Ginger Andy battle him? We'll wait and see. But Speed Knighton slightly dropped back from Machine Fishy there in those sectors, so you know he needs to be careful. Obviously, don't want to drop too far back, don't want to get any damage either. Obviously, he needs to be careful with pushing. DRS is wide open then. Obviously, Machine Fishy is out of DRS of Corey, so he won't get that. And Johners has retired there. Obviously, virtual safety car then. Johners did bin it in the second chicane, as you can see on the map. Will anyone pit? Will anyone pit? Obviously, everyone has stayed out, I believe, so no one is making a second pit stop, as far as I can see. So, and actually, I must point out, probably Andy might have actually, if he stayed out a couple more laps, he might have actually benefited from that virtual safety car. So, as I said, probably not the greatest there in that virtual safety car has ended. Risky Racer thought about really going early, but Dan the Man was having none of it. Obviously, I think the virtual safety car is a bit unlucky depending on where you get it on this game. Some people get better starts by doing it as yellow flag. And Matt Tibos is out. Matt Tibos has binned it on the exit of the second chicane, so that is no points for Matt Tibos, while Corey is going to get an extra 25. And again, Corey was on 80, obviously before tonight's races, and obviously Matt was only on 71, so there was a 9-point gap prior to this race. With Corey leading, that's an extra 25 points he's going to extend, and I still think Matt is probably the biggest threat to Corey there. And here we go then. Obviously Corey obviously trying to go around the outside of Dan the Man, and actually you've got Khalifa right behind them as well. As good move from Risky there. He's really putting these battles on. However, Dan the Man then has got a better exit, and actually no, Risky does still have DRS there, as Khalifa is waiting in the wings. This is a good little battle for obviously P5 at the moment there. So we'll stick with this just for the time being, as this is the best battle on the circuit. But for 3 different constructors, McLaren, obviously Haas and Alfa Romeo. In real life, Alfa Romeo didn't have a particularly good season. In this game, they are having a very good battle, which is fantastic there. So obviously these guys, stalemate at the moment. Obviously Machine Fishy is 5 tenths behind Corey, so he's closed that gap obviously by half a second. Obviously 1.3 between the top 3 as well there, as Panos has actually been overtaken, shall I say, by Jay Luke there. So we're actually going to go with Machine Fishy, who will have DRS. He's got it in overtake already. 3 tenths there. DRS. Will Corey go defensive? I think he will. I don't know if Machine Fishy, or should I say, I don't think Corey will know. And actually, I don't know why, as Jay Luke has actually retired, so he's pushed too hard there. And there we go then. Obviously, very bad exit there. However, a virtual safety car, not good for Machine Fishy. Was really trying to go for it. He would have had him there, if it weren't for that virtual safety car. So yet again, a virtual safety car has came out. And to be honest with yourself, I think as Panos has made another pit stop. I don't blame him, to be fair. He was going backwards, as Corey's actually just got a 3-second penalty. So now it is a fight for the lead. Whoever finishes on whoever crosses the line first will win this race. I think actually the top 3 potentially do have a penalty each. So it is, and actually. So I am hearing by my good friend in the pit lane, Dom Smith, that Corey does have 2 time penalties. Machine Fishy only the 1, and Knighton has 3. I am hearing. So if Machine Fishy stays where he is, he will win the race, and there's only a couple of laps remaining as obviously the virtual safety car has obviously stopped again. Obviously getting very tight between the top 3. They need to keep it clean. Look what happened in Japan. The top 2 were fighting and it ended in tears for both of them, and the half a second between the top 3, DRS wide open already for Machine Fishy. Corey will go defensive, and he does. However, I think Machine Fishy will go around the outside very easily, and Corey thinking about it, he's really pushing it as Machine Fishy there had to go across it. Again, Machine Fishy just needs to think about it. He does not need to risk it. He does not need to risk it. The 2 cars ahead have penalties. So I think that's the important thing. Machine Fishy, do not do anything stupid and you'll have this win. That's all you care about. That's all you want. You want that win. You nearly got it in Japan, but that didn't go as Speed Knight in there. Getting a very bad exit there, but this is allowing then Corey it's allowing Corey to sort of get a bit of a gap, so he needs to be careful. Machine Fishy, and I think Knighton probably isn't struggling. And I don't know what he's doing. Machine Fishy isn't using his ERS, if you can see in the bottom right. He's saving way too much. You've got 2.5 laps remaining at the moment, and you've got 80% ERS. Use it, man. Use it. It's not hard. Use your damn ERS. This is why. And I am actually hearing as well, Andy is in the point going to outscore Jack Pearson. Jack Pearson clearly wanting TGP2 there. And actually Knighton does have a bit more straight line speed than Machine Fishy. So need to be very careful into the chicane. Don't get any corner cuts. Very clean there from both of them. However, Corey is not really pulling away. I think it's very important that Knighton doesn't hold him up. 5th, 6th and 7th and also, and here we go then, Dan the Man up the inside of Risky Racer. Obviously that's going to probably end in tears for one of them, and it's actually very cleanly as far as I can see. So good little battle there. So that's a nice battling. And Dan the Man thinking about up the inside of Risky Racer there. Not an overtaking spot at all. Not an overtaking spot. And actually Khalifa's out. Khalifa's lost it. Obviously, I think he got on the dirt. Not really what he wants, so that's not going to be good for him, obviously, with that. And then here we go, the Machine Fishy still right up the ass of Speed Knighton. A lap and a half to go then. Obviously, I think Machine Fishy, again, he doesn't really want to risk it. However, there's a bit of a tap there, but at the moment, he's 1.2 behind Corey, so I think he still will win this race if it finishes like this. But I think he doesn't want to. Again, he don't want to risk it. I think he should probably just stay in 3rd, unless the sort of opportunity, as it were, if I can speak English, presents itself. We're actually going to go on board with Machine Fishy for this last lap, just to get a better view of the distances between the cars. And Knighton has closed up on Corey, so that's fantastic for himself there. But I think he's starting to struggle. Obviously, Speed Knighton going all over the place there, and I think Andy has got Khalifa, as you can see on the left-hand side tower there. So that is 2 points for Ginger Andy at the moment. As Machine Fishy thinks about going up the inside there, thinks about it. Obviously, as we've got Jack Craig's AI car there. And here we go then. Is he going to think about it? Ooh, Knighton needs to be careful there. Knighton needs to be very careful. He doesn't want to try any, double moves, late moves, as it could cost him. Speed Knight gets another penalty there, so obviously that will be Machine Fishy definitely into P2. And there we go then, round the second to last corner. Obviously Corey only 1.2 ahead there. So, as I said, Machine Fishy will get at least P2, and I think he will get potentially P1, obviously with this, but we'll see. We'll see how it falls at the end of this race, obviously. And there we go then, as Corey does cross the line, obviously in 1st place, of course. And who's going to win? And it is Machine Fishy. Machine Fishy has won, obviously, as I did say, obviously there. And here we go then, 7th and 6th, obviously, and Dan the Man ahead. Obviously, very easy there. And actually, Dan the Man gets a podium position there. So Speed Knighton's penalties have cost him massively. Obviously, Phil Bargewell obviously does there. As actually, Khalifa is probably going to lose out again. But, it's no points there. And just about. And actually, RoboJeep, and obviously RoboJeep goes P8. So obviously good for Robojeep there. So that's fantastic for himself. So yeah, that's pretty much the racing done. With that, we're just waiting for Jack Pearson, of course, and Mr. Chiapelli to finish, and that will be the final results. And Mr. Chiapelli there getting a bit out of shape in that final chicane as he crosses the line, and that is the results, and that is the race over for Canada. So obviously that's very good. Obviously for the racing, a very entertaining race. There was a lot of action there. I don't know which one to go. There was multiple battles going on all at the same time. So that was well, it was a hard one to follow, I'd say, to be honest with yourself. Hard one to follow. However, we'll see there, as we can see. Obviously, the top 3 guys all on the podium spraying their champagne. I think Machine Fishy will be very happy with that. Obviously, to get that win, well deserved in my eyes. He had the pace. He had the pace in qualifying. He did get jumped in the stops, which allowed Corey to get back ahead. However, absolutely well deserved for Machine Fishy. And there we go. There's the final results. Let's not pay attention to the penalties on the right hand side. Of course, Machine Fishy in P1, Corey P2, Dan the Man P3, Kyle. I'd say he's very happy with P4 in that Williams course. Started P18 as well, I must point out. So fantastic result for him. Risky Racer P5, Aidan Griffins P6. Gained 1 position there. Knighton very disappointing, I think, with his race. Robojeep P8. Salvaged some good points there. Junior Andy, another 2 points for his championship. So fantastic for him with little to no sweat. Khalifa, I think, very disappointed to only get 1 point there. Obviously Phil Bardwell, Martin, obviously Northlands there. Panos, Paul, Jack, Mitchie Play, Jack Gray disconnected. Obviously J Luke, a big one. Matt Tibos and Johners obviously rounding out the field there. And yeah, so before that race, Matt was only 9 points off the championship lead there, and that's took a quite dramatic nosedive again. I'm not sure really what Matt Tibos is sort of doing this season. I don't think he's really with it. He's risking those qualifying positions to just get one run in. And I'm not really sure why. It's pretty bizarre, to be honest with you. For me purposely, I always get out as soon as I can, get the laps in, get a feel for the car, know how it feels, and at least that way you've got a banker in, you've got a few laps in. But Matt seems to be risking it all, obviously, for that. And I'm actually going to quickly go over the championship standings after that race as well for the top guys. So Corey is on 98 points after that. Machine Fishy on 86. Khalifa on 79. Matt Tibos obviously still on 71. Speed 9 on 67, and Aiden on 55. So it's still relatively close, I'd say. Obviously between the top. However, the top 3 still have a good chance of winning the title. Again, we're not quite at the halfway point of this season yet, but going off the form, clearly Corey's got some very good and consistent pace. Obviously, bar the odd little brain fart here and there. Machine Fishy, from what I can see, has really picked up the pace, really picked up his consistency. Khalifa started this season really, really well. However, he has dropped off, which is, I think, he needs to sort that out if he's got any chance of staying in at least 3rd position. He's only 8 points ahead, pretty much of Matt. So it's not it's not really a big cap. But yeah, we'll see. But anyway, enough of the championship standings. We're here to watch racing. We are here to watch TGP drivers go at it at the home of Grand Prix Silverstone. I'm not a huge fan of Silverstone personally. However, there are a few corners that are good. But we'll see. We'll see what it holds. It could rain. You never know. It's Silverstone. We'll wait and see there. But we're just waiting for Andy and his connection to ready itself. So then we can go qualifying. And then we will actually see what the weather's like before the drivers do. So we'll see there what the situation is, what the weather is, and what the racing is. And here we go then. So is it dry? Is it wet? That is the question. And that is a question that everyone is wanting to know. And the weather, drum roll please, it's dry. There we go then. So it is a dry qualifying session. I think everyone will be very happy with that. Very happy, I'd say. much more straightforward, and I am hearing it is a dry race as well. So I'll say it's going to be very straightforward, this qualifying, I'd say. But as we can see then on the left-hand side, some of the drivers, opting for a slightly different strategy for their first runs. Johners and Corey, at the moment, have put the mediums on. They haven't gone out on track as of yet. So we will see. And I am hearing there might be a few team orders potentially at the Toro Rossos. I think they may be trying to slipstream each other. Obviously, a few little tactics there from both Toro Rossos. So obviously, will any other teams try it? I think Silverstone, will you gain an advantage? Yes, you're always going to gain an advantage no matter where you go. Is it going to be a massive advantage? I'd say maybe two attempts, give or take in the slipstream, if you get it right, of course. And that is a very key one there, if you get it right. I think me and Phil, when we was teammates at Rebel a few seasons ago, we actually tried it a number of times. Same with me and Ada when we was teammates. So it does work, or people wouldn't do it. But it's just a case of whether you get it there. And actually, I do believe Machine Fish is the 4th, I believe, new winner. So new, when I mean new, I mean new. So that's new. Their first race wins in TGP 1. And that's obviously 4 debut winners this season, which is actually, I think it's fantastic. To be fair with yourself, obviously it's showing just how competitive, this league is, which is absolutely fantastic. I would say go on Twitter and obviously have a look at the TGP series at TGP series, or go on our website. TGP has a website? Yes, it does. A lot of people think it doesn't. It absolutely does there. And you can see all of our leagues. TGP1, we do TGP2, F1. Obviously, both of them. Obviously, TGP2 is the secondary league to TGP1, obviously the F2, as it were, of TGP. We're actually starting TGP Dirt. We've actually got 35, I believe, drivers lined up for that. That is the max for the time being, but I'm sure a lot of people will be putting their highlights up of their runs. And obviously we're doing in June, July time, we're also doing TGP GT, which is obviously GT Sport there. So obviously back to the action, though, there, as we can see a few cars on the mediums. Johners, Mr. Play and Paul, all obviously on the mediums at the moment. Johners is doing his first run on the mediums, and actually I must say John is actually having a good helmet this season. Everyone knows how horrendous his helmets have been previously, so it's good to see he's actually got something good going on this time, obviously as he goes through the old final few corners. Car looks very, very good on those medium tyres. It looks like it's handling quite well as far as I can see. It's not really oversteering, which is fantastic. I think Johners was complaining earlier on, though, about a bit of understeer at Silverstone. Also, the front not really biting, so he may have tweaked that out of his setup. As what a yellow flag at the actual final sector. I think that's a racing point of Panos. Obviously, his teammate is in the pits at the moment, but obviously John's then coming through. Oh, good little shot there. Maggots, Beckett's. Good little section there. I do love. I think that's the one corner, as well as Stowe and Cops, that I do like of Silverstone. The rest of it, I don't really care for. So that's my view of Silverstone there. Obviously coming through Stowe, then very easy to run it wide, very easy to actually take too much or too little speed. Obviously through that corner, through the final chicane, then. And this will be John's first flying lap, and obviously the only one on the mediums. And here we go then round the final corner, obviously, and he does a 28.2. I did, my predictions for pole position have been quite wrong this season, it seems, for whatever reason, and Machine Fishy has gone fastest on a 27.0. But I am going to say pole position, I think, will be potentially a low 26. I think pole last season was a 26.0 off the top of my head, obviously. But I think there have been a few patches. I think some people do believe that it has had an impact. The patches have had an impact on the grip and the overall pace of the cars. I don't really know, to be honest with yourself, but we'll see really. And actually we'll go with Matt Tibos actually getting a bit of a slipstream there from the obviously Racing Point. Eddie Griffin's getting out of the way nicer there. Matt Tibos is on the soft tyres. I can't actually see that Matt Tibos has a purple middle sector at all. Whether or not he has is another story. We know how this game is. There we go. Obviously a bit of curb riding there. Obviously, if that was realistic, that would have been a corner cut, but Cody's seem to don't really do that, as Matt Tibos does a 27.0 obviously at present, and that puts him, and actually look how close it is, a 0.08 for Matt Tibos, a 0.10 for Machine Fish. That is very close between those guys. at present. And I must say, Corey has actually done his fastest lap at the moment on the mediums, only a tenth off. And I do believe that the gap from the mediums is about 8 tenths to the soft tyres, give or take there, but we'll see. And obviously Luca then I think has invalidated his lap. Yep, he has. And there's not really many people on actual laps. Dan the Man's also invalidated it at the moment. Everyone else is on an in lap. And I believe Aiden did actually throw his in the wall, so that's his medium run pretty much over with before it even began. But yeah, everyone then, as you can see on the right hand side, is on their in laps. As Martin actually has just gone into 9th. Obviously Northland's number 1 there. Obviously on a 28.6 currently, 1.6 off the fastest time. So a massive margin that he needs to gain back to be in a shout of near the front. I think Martin, season 23. He did have the pace, but I think he has slowly sort of gone back, obviously through the field, which is a massive shame, to be honest with yourself. It would be good to see Martin back up at the front. You know, he has shown he has pace at times. I think this game may not really suit him too much, though, sadly. But yeah, you know, I'm sure next season on the new game may be different. You know, it's a new start for everyone. You know, new setups potentially as well. Anything can happen. So we'll wait and see for that. But our point in time at the moment is focused, of course, on obviously TGP1 season at 33. I kept saying previous streams 23. Not sure why. Brain farts. You know, I'm getting old at my ripe old age of 25. However, it is season 33 and not 23 then. So let's have a look then. Speed 9 is on a lap. Not long started it. Obviously currently in 12th, no lap time set as of yet. So I think he is the only one on a flying lap at the moment. Everyone else is on out laps. Obviously Machine Fish on an out lap, John is on an out lap, obviously Paul on an out lap. But for now we'll stay with Knighton, DRS Open, Ineos McLaren. Obviously a nice looking McLaren there. Not really a fan of this year's, but I think I preferred that sort of colour scheme of 2019. As I do believe Risky or someone has just popped up nearer the front, I believe. So here we go then. So Speed 9 through Cops then. Doesn't quite keep it planted. Not really sure why there. Obviously in qualifying he's not really hammering the car as he should be. Obviously maybe his car's not handling as well as he wants. Missed the apex there. Obviously through Maggots and Beckett onto this straight. Obviously Stowe very important there. And he has actually set a purple middle sector, Knighton has, so even though he missed a few apexes there, it clearly hasn't cost him too much. Late apex at Stowe, obviously keeps it just about on the circuit. You can run wide at Stowe and it does not invalidate your lap, but I think these drivers are smart enough to know that, you know, the white lines define the track limits. And here we go, they're 9 around the final corner and he goes into P5, so a good banker lap for himself there. He set, I think, a middle and a final purple sector, but clearly his first sector wasn't the greatest. And here we go then, so who to go on board? We'll actually go with Aiden for the time being. And I'm hearing, I think Jack has crashed at Maggots and Beckett, so we can see on the map there. Obviously Aiden Griffin's teammate, who we are riding on board with, who is coming up to Maggots and Beckett at the moment. So hopefully his teammate does get out of the way and doesn't block him with that. So here we go then. And I think will Jack Pearson try and give Aiden a bit of a slipstream, and Aiden has gone purple middle sector, and yet Aiden wants that slipstream. And Jack Pearson is having none of it. Jack Pearson does not want to give his teammate the slipstream, so not good team player there, Jack Pearson. I will say that. And Aiden then coming around the final couple of corners then, avoids that Sosh curb on the left, ride a lot of that curb. He doesn't quite ride enough of it, but not too bad there. But there we go then, Aiden goes into P4 on a 27.2, so only 2 tenths behind obviously the pole position man, Matt Tibos, who is now on a lap. I'm actually going to go on board with Matt. 7th gear, overtake at the moment. Obviously 100 metre board, hit the brakes, very easy to lock up through this right hander. Obviously try and take a wide line into this left hander just to maximise the traction onto this straight, onto the DRS straight. And he may get a bit of a slipstream from this car ahead. Actually it doesn't seem to be going very fast, and I do believe that is Griffin's actually, so Aiden gets out of the way very nicely there. 50 metre board, Matt throws it into the corner, slightly misses the apex where he wants to be. He has set the fastest purple first sector, but yeah, I think he want to take a bit more speed through that left-hander compared to he did slightly miss the apex there. Use all that runoff on the right-hand side up to the wall, and then here we go then, Cops. Will he go flat? Will he have a lift? Oh, he does have a lift there, so a lot of drivers are lifting at the moment, so either the track's not in good condition, or these people, these drivers at the moment are not really on top of their setups, but hitting the apex nicely there onto that straight DRS wide open. There is a yellow flag, obviously just behind these drivers. Or should I say, Matt has gone purple middle sector, so I think Matt will improve his time. Also, I don't think it will be by a huge amount, but he will improve it nonetheless. And an improvement is what Matt needs this time around, and this point in the season as well. He's not had it all his own way, which a lot of people think he would have. And Matt Tibos goes across the line a 26.6, so it's still a couple of tenths off, well, about 6 tenths off last season's pole. However, there were definitely a few areas on Matt's lap where he could have gained maybe 1 to 2 tenths easily. But yeah, so a good one from Matt there, 4 tenths quicker than Machine Fishy, who is still in the pits. He's not came out yet. And who else is there then? Obviously, as Panos actually just completes his lap, goes up into P6. So that's good. I think Panos did set the purple final sector, so that's good for him. Khalifa then, across the line, it goes P2, 26.8. So obviously good for Khalifa there. This is what he needs as well. So at the moment, the big underperformers for this season, Matt Tibos and Khalifa, I'd say, are 1-2. So obviously fantastic for them. That's what they need. Will they stay there is a completely different question. So there's still 6.5 minutes to go of this qualifying session. As Khalifa, as we can see, does get out of the way of the cars behind. And who is on a lap? Martin in P14 is on a lap at the moment. Obviously around the final corner, currently 14th, and he goes only to P12. He did improve by, I think, quite a margin, about 3-4 tenths, I believe. But only a couple of positions in. I think. I think at the moment not much action. A lot of people in the pits. Chiapelli is on a lap at the moment. Obviously going down the old main straight up towards Copse. Obviously, and there we go. Luca is I think the only driver that I've seen so far that has kept it flat through Copse. No other driver at the moment has kept it flat through Copse. Luca Chiapelli, I can say you are quicker than anyone else through Copse. So congratulations, give him the title now. So obviously, will he improve on his time though? He is 7 or 8 tenths up pretty much on his time at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of traffic there. Obviously there, so not good there, but he is 8 tenths up on his time. So if he goes 8 tenths up, he'll be top 10 easily. Obviously on his current time, I believe. And Waze has joined for the second race again there. So that's fine there. And Luca goes, and he doesn't improve. So clearly his final sector wasn't good. And I am hearing that on the radio that Luca is not happy with the traffic. He was 8 tenths up and it put him on. However, his teammate, now Machine Fishy, race winner for the first time, is on a lap. Obviously, let's have a look how he takes his corners. Taking a lot of good speed through these corners, so that's good for him. Let's see there. Obviously, what he can do in a random fact. Softly's pointless pointers makes a return. Ginger Andy, who has done no sweat and hasn't played the game on this console only until a few days ago, has scored more points than Jack Pearson this season. What does that say? And Jack Pearson has done a few little sweat sessions today, not too many, but he's done more than Andy, and he's still worse off than Andy. So Jack Pearson, please sort your pace out. You're better than this, mate. You are better. And Machine Fishy has set a purple middle sector them. So what can he do? He's got a bit of traffic ahead, but I think they're on a flying lap, which is, I think, a Toro Rosso of Phil. Obviously, it's Phil on his out lap ahead. But here we go then. Machine Fishy running the number 66. I'll probably say I'd have run the number 69 for obvious reasons. And Machine Fish then comes across the line, goes fastest on a 26.5. Ginger Andy right behind, obviously there. And what will Ginger Andy do? He goes up to 11th place on a 27.6 there. So who is... Everyone else is in the pits. Knight has finished his lap. Machine Fish has finished his lap. Phil Bargewell is actually on a flying lap at the moment. Just started it. So we'll go on board with him. Obviously with that. So P15, 28.1. I think he'd be very disappointed, Phil, on 15th. I think he thought he had some good pace. So obviously he's really understeering through there. Not hitting that apex well at all. As we do have a yellow flag right behind Phil. That's just slow cars. Nothing to worry about there. Obviously down this old main straight. Obviously, but Phil needs a better lap. And we'll see on the next sector split after obviously Cops, Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, and he validates it, and Phil has crashed, and off he goes. He tried to do what Chiapelli did, full throttle. Curb unsettled his car there, so not really what he wants. But it is, and actually Machine Fishy has retired, so Machine Fishy, I think, has just retired from the session rather than crashed. And then obviously, that's not, so I think Machine Fishy feels that is the max he can do. And then Speed Knight and P4 at the moment. Obviously, I don't think he's on a lap. Speed Knight, no, I think he's on an in lap there. That's fine. And obviously Knight in the pits. And literally no one else is really on laps. Risky's on an out lap. Who's further around? So I think Risky Racer's further around. So we'll follow Risky then, shall we? I'll see for his lap. Currently in P10, and I think I was hearing just a moment ago on Team Radio that Phil Bardwell complaining that he's lost a second due to lack of grip in this session. He did do a sweat session previously, so that's obviously interesting there. And actually, we'll go on board with Corey. He's slightly further ahead of Risky Racer, and obviously we'll go on board with the championship leader then, shall we? So he starts his lap in overtake mode at the moment. Obviously get a good turn one. Perfect. Don't scrub in too much speed off by turning too aggressively. Obviously 100 meter board here. That down to third to fourth gear. You can sometimes short shift up. Obviously take this nice and gently. Be careful of the traction. Traction's very big issue out of that corner. Onto the DRS rate. He'll try and get that toe from the car ahead. I think no. He doesn't bother, but this car does need to get out of his way very quickly, and it is Martin, obviously Northants there, and he does jump straight out of the way. That may have distracted Corey slightly, as he does run it quite wide there, but he should get a far better exit, obviously out there, but not really what I think Corey would have wanted, but I don't think it would cost him too much time in the slightest. And there we go, he does go flat through Cops there. Obviously Corey only the second successful driver to do that. Through Maggots and Beckett's then, obviously keep it planted. Obviously slight corner cut there that the game does not register. Obviously spectator cams and all, Dom Smith should know that by now. Obviously down towards Stowe. Obviously there is no, well, it's showing it's his out lap, but I don't think it is his out lap, but it is showing there is no time, so it's definitely a lap I am hearing. I do believe it's a lap because he's using his urge. You wouldn't do that if it was an out lap. But then Corey then, obviously across the line, will he improve? He goes P1, a 26.4. And obviously Risky Racer then, obviously across the line, it only goes P8 there. But yeah, not too bad. There are a few cars behind there. Aiden coming up to the final few corners then. I think he's a couple of tenths up, I believe Aiden is. I think I saw 3 tenths there, but this will be his only lap, so he needs to make it count. And he goes P4, then Khalifa then. Obviously one of the last, obviously few runners. Bit wide there. Oh, I'm not really sure that's the line to take through there. I think that may get called into question, and I think he has backed off, so that's good from Khalifa there. He didn't complete it as Jonas comes through the final corner. Currently P7, 27.2. He only improves by a tenth, give or take there. Obviously J. Luke has invalidated his lap, so that's not going to improve. Andy, for some reason, has done 3 laps on his tyres. I'm not sure why Andy's done 3 laps. They're going to be absolutely destroyed if they're his current one, but damn the man then. Obviously through the final corner. Dan currently 12, he goes P8, and then Kyle then obviously P13 currently around the final corner. Will he improve? He's 5 tenths up, he goes P9. Obviously displaces Risky Racer there. Matt Tibbott, I'm hearing, has invalidated his lap, so he'll start no better than 3rd, and he does come into the pits. Risky Racer has finished his lap. That's qualifying pretty much over, other than Jack Pearson. He's doing, I believe, a 2nd lap on his soft, so I don't think he cares. And nice line there from Jack, but yeah, I don't think he's going to improve too much, and he doesn't improve at all there on Risky Race. So that is qualifying pretty much over. That is the qualifying sessions for tonight's race is done. It is now time for the final race, obviously of the night, Silverstone. It is going to be a dry race, I believe, as well. So it's going to be pure pace, pure speed. Matt Tibbott has actually done his lap this time, so yeah, I think he's done far better than he did last qualifying session at least. But we'll see. We will see. It's a fast turn 1. Very easy to get pinched on the inside against the wall, and chaos then ensues. And then turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, it's a very slow section, so good chance to be bottled. Obviously, bottle it up, but there's also good chances to go up the inside, go around the outside, go which way ever you want. Obviously, with that, a lot of people think you can just plan your strategy, what you're going to do through the first few corners. It's down to pure luck, absolutely pure luck. There's no point planning it because it's never going to work out the way you want it to. The only sure thing about a plan is that it won't go the way you want. Remember that, guys, because it is the truth. And there we go. Then qualifying, Corey on pole by a 10th. Obviously, only a 10th and a half separating the top 3 there. Aiden Griffin, I think we're very happy with P4. Obviously, only 2.5 tenths off. Khalifa P5, Knight in P6, John is P7, Dan obviously P8, obviously Kyle P9 there, Risky Racer P10. Obviously, everyone down after that. So Panos will be the first, and everyone else will be able to start on whichever tyres they want. I think I already know that Phil will probably go on the mediums at the start. Is I think his tactic. He's got nothing to lose really. So yeah, it should be an interesting race again, and let's hope it's as clean and as fun and as exciting as the last one. But yeah, keep it smiling and keep it tidy is the best thing there. So slipstream is very powerful on this game as well. So it should in air quotations be a good race. So then there we go. Then pure blue skies. Obviously here at Silverstone, we're going to see what the race holds. I think we've pretty much seen as well a safety car or a virtual safety car in every single race this season, I believe. So Silverstone, it's got a lot of runoff areas, but it is very fast. I'm probably going to hazard a guess and say there's going to be some sort of safety car, virtual or otherwise. So yeah, hopefully not, because it does. I don't know. Does it ruin the racing? It might do. I think a lot of people say it spices it up, but I personally say it comes out way too often now. With that, and it is a full grid in TGP1 this race. Obviously, Waze did manage to join for the second race, so we're gonna see then what can happen. And there we go. Then the lights are on at 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. No sound at the moment, and they are away. And here we go then. So let's take a look then. Obviously, it seems to be clear, clean. Nice and fair all the way through. Beautiful. Machine Fishy already right behind Corey, of course. Matt Tibos. And actually, Aiden's got past him. Obviously, there's a Toro Rosso there. Obviously there. But Aiden did get past Matt Tibos into turn 3. However, Matt gave him straight back up the inside. And here we go. Then actually, Matt's got a run on Machine Fishy. Will Machine Fishy go defensive? He does. Obviously, will Matt go around the outside? He thinks about it. He runs a bit wide. Matt Tibos on a bit of the grass there, but good defensive from Machine Fishy there. This gives Aiden an opportunity to potentially get that slipstream in and attack Matt Tibos. He's not had it his own way this season, Matt Tibos, which is very surprising. And here we go then. Aiden thinks about up the inside at Cops. He backs out of it though, so that's obviously good for him. And here we go, and there's actually someone off there. I think at the background, I think that was a Ferrari of Paul. I'm not quite too sure there. But yeah, the cars then go through Maggots and Beckett's. Obviously, very nice, this set of corners. Absolutely beautiful there, but speed not only 2 tenths behind. Aiden Griffin's, obviously, as we see, thinking about it. You're really trying to, as it were, get in the way of Matt Tibos. You think you're going up the inside when you're not. And there we go, Knighton and Khalifa. That is the worst camera angle ever. Good Codemasters there. And there we go, there's Phil, I believe, is in the pits as Corey sets the vice lap. And Speed Knighton, oh, got that curb. Need to be careful there, that can very easily spin you. That very easily can spin you there, but Knighton has kept the position there, as we see. Johners, oh, getting on the grass. As we see, Risky Racer, oh, Risky Racer getting on the grass there. Obviously, that was very close, and these camera angles horrendous at Silverstone as we see it. I think a Mercedes on the right hand side. Obviously Northland's going to run the right hand side there. Ooh, bit of contact there. Ooh, bit of contact there again. We're actually finally going off board, thankfully. And I think Kyle will hold that position. Martin will try and go around the outside. He's thinking about it. I think he's going to make it stick, and he makes it stick. Martin up the inside there, so that is a position gained for Martin. So fantastic for himself there, but I don't think Kyle will have that line down. And here we go then. Obviously Kyle is thinking about it. Martin does go defensive towards Cops. I think Kyle will try and go around that side. And Kyle thinks about trying to stay around the outside there. And obviously, actually, Kyle does make it stick slightly, and there's a yellow flag there. Knighton has spun at Maggers and Beckers, and he has retired with regards to that. And there is a safety car. There is a safety car. So, is anyone going to pit? This is not suited Phil Bargewell, who I do believe is on the mediums. There we go. So, Martin in P8, J. Luke, Ginger Andy, Mr. Jeep, Robo Jeep. Waze, I think it's really struggled. It's not happy. Obviously for that, as Corey has got a drive through speeding under the safety car, as a lot of drivers are pitting. Corey, Machine Fishing, Matt, Aiden, all pits obviously there, so they are all pitting. There's a lot of cars pitting, and to be fair, this is a perfect time to pit, to be honest with yourself. The safety car probably will stay out for another 2 to 3 laps, so I think this is a good move from all the people that have pitted opposed to the people who have not pitted. Obviously, the only cars that have stayed out are at the top 4. J. Luke, Panos, Miss Cheap Elliott, and Dan the Man. I believe Andy has had to queue. Let's just take a look. He has gone. So that's perfectly fine there with that. And I am hearing... No, there we go there. So J. Luke is right behind the safety car. I'll see these 4 guys at the front. Probably not the greatest strategy to do. But I think they were relatively far behind. There's a bit of lag going on there from Panos, as he's just been overtaken by Luca Chiapelli under the safety car. But then I think will Panos be able to keep it? As Matt Tibos now gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Well, I'm not really sure what to say about that, to be honest with yourself. So Corey has a penalty for speeding under the safety car, and Matt Tibos has also got a penalty for safety car conditions. So potentially, Machine Fishy, if he keeps it clean yet again, and he has the pace, which I think he does yet again, he could possibly be taking another win. And he's only, I think, 12 points behind Corey, obviously after Canada. So, you know, it's not bad. I think you get a good fair few points between first and second. So that gap will close up quite a lot. Quite a lot it will. So then, as we can see the tyres, then everyone other than Dan the Man, Phil Bargewell, Robo Jeep, Ginger Andy, obviously they're the only drivers who are not on the mediums. Obviously, again, the top 4 have not pitted yet. I will point that out. However, I don't know, Phil. I think Phil's best option is pitting again. Phil, I would say for him to put a new set of mediums on. As we can see, obviously there is Dan the Man has decided to pit. Dan the Man has decided to pit. I think it's his only option to lose the least amount of time. As you can see, Dan the Man's now first thanks to the pit entry, cutting completely the last corner. So that's what that is. However, I definitely think Phil should have pitted for another set of mediums, or at least a set of softs, just so that he's on a fresher set of tyres there. And I'll see. There we go then. So let's just see. I think, will the safety car come out? Right, there's a few comms on the radio about people, you know, hitting the brakes to warm up the tyres. So I think everyone needs to be careful of you know, breaking up the braking there with that. And I definitely think Andy should definitely box for another set of tyres, but go on the mediums. I would probably say softs may not help go to the end. It's hard to say. I'd definitely say safest option for Ginger Andy is to go on the mediums. But will the safety car come in? If the safety car comes in this lap, you know, Ginger Andy probably will stay on the tyres he's on. If it does go for another lap, definitely pit. I'd say Ginger Andy should probably pit. Jack Pearson, I'd probably say pit as well. However, you know, the top 3 then are the ones who haven't pitted. Corey again has a penalty due to safety car. Machine Fishy, I believe, doesn't. Matt Tibos does. Aidan Griffins is possibly in a good shout here, right behind the top 3. He was P4 on the road when the safety car came out. Is in a good shout for potentially P2. So it should be interesting. But you know, we know what Aidan's been like this season. He's bottled quite a few good opportunities at race positions, and he's rage quit. So I think Aidan needs to keep his cool. You know, with all these days off that we're having from work and stuff like that due to coronavirus, it's very important. And the safety car is in this lap. So we'll actually go on board. We'll actually go with Corey, of course. You know, it's he'll be the one to watch. Will he get past Mr. Chiappelli, Panos and Jay? Will the top 3 make it difficult for them? There we go then. With that, so let's take a look then. And I think Corey, don't think it's a drive-through that Corey has. I think it will be added to his overall race time at the end of the race. But we'll see. There's a bit of braking going on there from the front guys. And here we go. Then they have bolted with that, and these camera angles are yet again horrendous. But there we go. Then Corey, there's a bit of a yellow flag. That was just a game there. But Corey then, there is a bit of lag going on. But I think that might just be my side rather than the game's. And there we go then, Luca going defensive already, so Luca will not let Corey pass. They are fighting for position, even though they haven't pitted yet. I'll see Corey then round the outside, but I'll see Corey will have the momentum. And obviously that's fine there. And I will point out, obviously, Mr. Chiappelli probably helping Machine Fishy there. And there we go then, as we can see. And actually, Lucas thinking about going up the inside, bit of contact. And actually, Matt Tibos thinking about the inside of Machine Fishy as well. So it's obviously 2 side-by-side cars in 2 different rows there. Obviously, between obviously these guys. However, Machine Fishy is still behind, obviously, Mr. Chiappelli. I am hearing Machine Fishy will be allowed straight through. Luca playing the team game there, which is fantastic to see. Machine Fishy goes a bit wide there. Matt Tibos in P6 currently, obviously right behind the top guys. Good little camera angle there. Matt has actually dropped back a few attempts. Didn't get the greatest obviously exit. Here we go then, Machine Fishy on Luca. Luca, as it goes on the inside, slots in the inside. Will Luca hold up Matt Tibos? Now that is the key question. Will he have the pace to? And actually, there we go then. Corey has got a drive through, so he is pitting, as we can see. Matt Tibos going around the outside of Luca. Obviously nice and easy from Matt Tibos there. I think Mr. Chiappelli's tyres are probably now obviously starting to wear. J. Luke sets the fastest lap. Will Luca defend against Aidan Griffins? That is a different question. Machine Fishy already up to P3 there. And there we go then. Look at that. Aidan Griffins really thinking about it. Luca going all over the road trying to defend. Aidan Griffins around the outside, but he doesn't quite keep it tight enough. Obviously, Luca is very defensive. Obviously, so this is costing Aidan time. Luca around the outside. He's going to hold it nice and clean, and that's good to see between them. And obviously at the moment, this is probably the closest battle as we see Jonas there behind Aidan. And Aidan up the inside of Luca. Nice and clean there. Good little move. Nice and clean. Nothing too strenuous for either driver. My arsehole was clenched there, I'm going to be honest, from that camera angle. But here we go then. Second and third. Machine Fishy now closing up on Panos. Panos has been lagging slightly, I'm hearing, this session. So obviously Machine Fishy needs to really think about his positioning. Doesn't want to do any rash moves, as it were. Look at that camera angle through Maggots and Becks. Ooh, helicopter cam. That is making me hard. That is making me hard. So that is a very good helicopter cam. Helicopter cams, I think, are the way to go for future spectator cams. Codemasters, if you're listening, spectator cams. Obviously a Machine Fishy there, not quite close enough, obviously through there, but will he try? A little bit wide there, needs to be careful, very careful of track limits there, too many, and he probably would incur a penalty. But at the moment then, it's not quite close. Obviously Khalifa is getting well, there we go, Carl around the outside, fantastic for Carl there. That's fantastic, and Paul right behind there in the Ferrari, number 14, Alonso's number. As Paul actually gets a penalty from turn 1 there, so not really what he wanted, but it is what it is. And actually, we're going to go back on board with the top 4 actually. They're right up each other's arses. Obviously, Machine Fishy right up Panos' arse. Obviously, and there we go then. Obviously, a second separating these guys. And actually, it's proving difficult for Machine Fishy. He goes around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? A very good move for Machine Fishy there. Obviously, Matt up the inside of Panos. Oh, bit of lag going on there between Matt. And, well, I don't think that's real, going to be honest there. And I think Panos has kept the position. I think Panos has probably kept the position thanks to the lag, I'm going to be honest. However, that's it is what it is, I guess. I think Matt's going to try and need to be clean to get past there, as John's obviously in P6 gets a penalty, 2 seconds behind Aidan Griffins, of course, and Aidan has obviously, well, Luca has recently lost the position to John as well. So, and here we go then, it's a DRS train from these guys. And here we go then, actually Machine Fishy at the front, thinking about going around the outside of Jay, because Corey gets another penalty there, sadly for him. But here we go then, well, Matt Tibos is still riding, or, well, I think the cars are having sex. I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go back on board with Machine Fishy. Forget the sex that's going on behind. I don't think we, all the kids that are watching, turn it off now. Just turn it off. We don't need to see this at all. There's things that you don't need to see until you're a bit older, of course. There and that is still happening. And is there a battle going on there? Ginger Andy and Dan the Man? No, not really a battle. As Matt Tibos finally has passed his laggy lag face of Panos there. There we go then, and actually Jay Luke then up the inside. Well, trying to hold it around the outside of Machine Fish there, and slightly doesn't make it stick sadly. But Matt Tibos there. Matt Tibos, is he gonna have the slipstream? Not really. Also, I think Jay Luke is running quite a little downforce as Phil Bardwell there sets the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, he is currently last of the runners at the moment, 12 seconds off as Panos there getting, well, now Panos is back ahead. Panos is apparently back ahead of Matt Tibos, and this Matt Tibos needs to be very careful as Paul has retired. He has crashed through cops. A virtual safety car then, guys, virtual safety car. Is anyone near the front going to risk another pit stop? Probably not. Everyone's so close that it's just not a risk. Jay Luke, though, I believe, and Panos haven't pitted. Yes, as we could say, they've been on their tyres for 7 laps, and they do pit. So that's going to potentially be helpful for them. And Aiden then is in a net P3 in this race. That's okay there. And Andy is pretty much, if Panos and Jay Luke, well, they're going to come out way ahead of them anyway. So Andy's still ahead of Jack Pearson, of course. I'm not really shocked by that at the moment. And I am hearing that the Delta wasn't working. So then, as we can see, the fight for P4. John is trying to defend from Kyle. Obviously, Williams versus Toro Rosso, as it were. Will Kyle have the slipstream? He has the DRS. John does go defensive there. Nice and easy. Obviously, Kyle doesn't really have an opportunity to go around the outside. However, he is lining him up. John is having to take the defensive line there. Obviously, Kyle will have a better exit, I'd say, out of this corner. Very easy to lose traction out of the old final corner. And there we go then. 5 seconds. And there we go. So Kyle then has ghosted through Johners. So there is a bit of lag going on. However, they also in each other, I must point out, at present. So that's fine there. And there we go then. So Matt Tibos is only half a second behind Machine Fishy. But again, Machine Fishy does not have any sort of penalty, as far as I'm aware. So as long as Machine Fishy, I think Machine Fishy should probably just keep defending against Matt. Also, the longer they keep this up, they've got another, what, four laps to go. And actually, Jonas and Khalifa then, as we can see a battle there between the Toro Rosso and, obviously, Jonas pushing Khalifa off the circuit there. However, Khalifa does still have the inside line. Obviously, rubbish camera angles there. There we go then, Jonas and Khalifa. Jonas defending for his dear life as Khalifa really getting a lot of oversteer there. And now Khalifa's lost another position, and it's to Martin this time, thanks to that oversteer. Very easy to lose the traction. I don't know if his tyres are done. He's been on them for 7 laps. Probably not the on mediums, but, he didn't get very good traction at all, sadly. And Dan the Man then on Ginger Andy, as we can see, less than 3/10 position. Obviously, 1 is on the hards, which is Andy, and Dan the Man is on softs. Excuse me. We'll see Martin and Khalifa side by side. Martin trying to go around the outside in the Mercedes. Thinks about it. He's got that position still, and obviously Khalifa. I don't think Khalifa's got any grip. He's really struggling, Khalifa is. I think he has absolutely toasted his tyres as we go back to Dan and Ginger Andy side by side through the old main straight. Who's going to do it through? And actually, Andy backs out. You think smart of it. There's a bit of lag there. Nothing to worry about, though. But yeah, Ginger Andy thinking smartly, backs out of it. Obviously, very smart from him there. But yeah, there's. I think it is a bit. And actually, Machine Fishy's pulled out 3 to 4 tenths on Matt Tibos this past lap, as Jack Pearson and Risky Racer going side by side there. Oh, that's pretty close. Jack Pearson, I think, getting a bit tasty with Risky Racer there. As I am hearing, somebody is off. Khalifa is off. I am hearing as Jack Pearson and Risky Racer are ghosting. As there we go, Khalifa, as Alfa Romeo are not getting any points at the moment. So that's not good. for them. Obviously, they've had such a strong start to this season, and obviously it seems to be falling apart at this race. And Machine Fishy, if the positions do stay like this, will be the championship leader after this race. But again, if the positions stay the same, obviously there's still a couple laps to go. Anything can happen. Expect the unexpected. Obviously, Matt has pulled 4 attempts back on Machine Fishy in this last half a lap. So yo-yoing about between the top guys as Andy and Dan the Man are actually having a good fight. Mediums versus hards. Obviously, Andy going very defensive there. Obviously, Andy has been on those tyres 1 lap longer, and there we go then. Obviously, it's hard to see there. I think Andy has the line. Yes, he does. Dan the Man thinks better of it. There we go then, and Waze and Khalifa then. Obviously, a bit of a battle there, but I think Khalifa is going backwards. We're going to stick with Andy and Dan the Man there. This is the tasty battle for basically the final few points, as we can see, is a bit glitchy there, but again, as I keep saying, I think that's just the lobby or the game at the moment. Andy going defensive, weaving a bit there. He needs to be careful of weaving. Obviously, it's not it's frowned upon. Obviously, weaving is. However, Dan does not quite have the slipstream, obviously, to get past. Let's just take a look. Then this still is the closest battle on circuit. The Khalifa and Jack having a bit of a battle. There is Northants does get a penalty, however, Robo Jeep's 2.4 seconds, so Northants need to gain another few tenths just to secure that P6 in this race. And as we can see then, Matt still holding that 6/10 gap to Machine Fishy, not quite having the pace to pull it back. Let's have a look as well. Machine Fishy has more ERS, 51% to 36 for Matt. So now we're going to go back with Dan the Man, 3/10, 4/10 behind Andy. I think Andy's, even though he's on those mediums, I think there's quite a massive margin gap between the tyres around Silverstone, especially the mediums hards. Obviously, he is doing very well. I'd say Andy is to be defensive again. Not really played this game, only installed it a couple of days ago, I think, or a couple of weeks ago in first and second. Then we're actually going to stay on board for the final lap with the top 2. Obviously, final lap 3/10. There's Dan the Man, gets a penalty, sad for him there. However, this is the fight for the win. Again, Machine Fishy doesn't need to do anything stupid. Matt has a penalty, so as long as he stays within a couple of seconds of Matt, if he got ahead, then that'll be perfectly fine for Machine Fishy. But again, it's yo-yoing between half a second, 3/10 to a second. But that's a shocking camera angle yet again. We'll stay on board on the T-cam for this final lap then. But Phil has the fastest lap, but he is in 18th position, 5 seconds off, so very disappointing from him. John is his teammate, P5 at the moment, so fantastic for him. It's obviously 2 sides to a coin for that team in tonight's races, clearly. I think in the first race, Phil had a better result than Johners, opposite for this race. Corey in P13, Khalifa in P11, so neither of them are going to get any points, I'm afraid. I think Corey is going to pass Jack. Both got DRS. Up the inside, Corey goes. Nice late break in there, that's perfectly fine. The gap's gone up to 8/10 at the front to a second, so I think Matt's obviously given up the chase there. He knows it's not going to make a difference at this point. But then will Corey then get his teammate Khalifa? Again, Khalifa really been struggling since the safety car restart, or the virtual safety car. So I think Corey may end up getting him, obviously for this race there. It's Jack Pearson there in the bottom left. Last few corners for the top guys, as we can scroll up and just see him come around the final corner. Machine Fishy wins the race. Matt Tibos comes home P2 on the track. Will he come home P2 in the race? No, Aiden gets that. Obviously Matt obviously did have that unserved penalty, but Matt does finish P3, and here we go then. After the final remaining second half of the field come across the line. Obviously in a quick succession, Andy gets P8, so that's, I think, Andy's probably best result since obviously being back in TGP1 and TGP in general. Obviously neither of the Alfa Romeo drivers get obviously the positions there. And as we can see, there's a little battle going on for the back. 16th and 17th, side by side for the last corner. They're having a little ding-dong here. Bit of contact there, bit of contact, side by side. They're going all out. Chiapelli there. Having a bit of a track extend there, so I'm not really sure that counts, but a good little battle to the final slots. So that's okay there. And that is your racing tonight. So we'll see the podium. And there we go, an Irishman wins once again in TGP1. As we can see, lifts up that trophy. Obviously, Machine Fishy taking my spot in Renault from last season. So Renault continue the winning ways fantastically. Obviously, the Red Bull there and a Ferrari. So it's a completely different, as it were, constructors for the top three, which is fantastic. And there we go, celebrating. Machine Fishy is now, I believe, the championship leader after tonight's races. So that is absolutely brilliant there. And here we go. Here is the final standings. Machine Fishy on P1. Aidan Griffiths, fantastic P2. I think he'll be very happy with that. Matt Tibos, P3, better than he's been doing the past few races, especially in qualifying. So that's good. P3 there. Obviously, Kyle, I think another happy result for him. P4. John, P5. Northlands, P6. Robojeep, obviously, from 17th to 7th. Fantastic. Ginger Andy, P8. I believe that is his best result. Obviously so far this season. Risky Racer P9, Dan the Man rounding out the points positions. Khalifa and Corey very disappointed with 11th and 12th. Ways making the second race, of course. 14th, 15th, 16th for Jack Pearson there. Mr. Chiapelli, obviously Phil Barger very disappointed. Paul Speed Knight in last, of course. And that is pretty much the racing tonight. In the championship standings then, Machine Fishy's on 111 points. Corey's now on 98. Matt Tibos is on 89. Khalifa's on 79, Aidan Griffin is on 69, and Knighton is on 67. So that is good there. But that is your racing tonight. And very quickly, I'm going to show you the calendar, obviously, for this season. So the next two races, obviously, are some very good ones. I can see Italy and Australia, obviously, next Tuesday. So